everyone. Thank you for joining us for this very special edition of a mixer and a panel courtesy of Billionaire Girls Club in honor of, yes, give them a round of applause. And today we're highlighting Miami's very own Slice Girls Tennis Club. Give them a round of applause. Amazing. Love it. So we got fans. We got some Slice Girls in the building? Yes! Awesome. All right, so this inspiring group of women are making waves in Miami through fitness, entertainment, art, marketing, community, real estate, and of course, tennis. Before we get into the panel, I just want to give a shout out to some of the sponsors that we have today. We want to give a thanks to Mimi's Yoga, Mamitas Tequila Seltzer, who's providing today's drinks back there. If you haven't gotten a chance to test it out, give it a shot. We got Barebells in the back with some delicious protein bars. And of course, the bites that you've all been snacking on throughout the evening are courtesy of Cultivar Hospitality. So let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you, everyone. All right, so today's conversation is going to focus on the balanced life. As women, many of us know we wear multiple hats. It can be a balancing act, trying to figure things out, balance life, career, family, things of that nature. And so the ladies are gonna share with us today how they've mastered entrepreneurship, self-care, and of course, health. So I'm gonna allow the ladies all to introduce themselves. Before we do that, my name is Roxy. I should probably introduce myself as well. And I'll have the ladies all give us their names and their occupations.
What's up, guys? I'm Starr, Baby Mama Fit. And I'm a Pilates instructor in Miami. I'm responsible for all the good glutes around here. I'm just kidding. And yeah, that's me.
Hi everyone, I'm Shaina. I am an account manager at a digital marketing agency, so I work with a lot of business-to-business clients in the tech space as well as business-to-consumer. So we have e-commerce, hospitality, tourism, you name it. I've taken care of it.
Woo! Hi everyone, I'm Alex. I am an event producer and also a real estate agent in South Florida.
What's up everyone, my name is Carole and I work with a nonprofit organization called Buddy System MIA to fight food insecurity in South Florida.
I'm Francesca, most of you guys know me as Frankie. I am in public relations and I represent a lot of local hotels and real estate companies here in South Florida, so I'm ready to speak with you all.
Hi everyone, my name is Lina. I am a wardrobe stylist and costume designer here in Miami. I've worked on everything from music videos to commercials to films and everything in between, so.
Alrighty, so before we get started, I would love Shaina to just kind of give us a little background for those of us in the audience so don't know what the Slice Girls Tennis Club is all about. Give them a little brief overview of what the club is all about and also how did it come together?
Absolutely. So, Slice Girls Tennis Club is a women's tennis group where we gather together. It's an open space for us to be very progressive, learn a new sport, and I call it the best after work activity. I felt like it started from, oh gosh, I hate going to the gym, I'll be honest with you. I hate lifting weights. I really do. And so for me, and I think a lot of girls related to it, I had to tap into a place that I was happy in my childhood. And I was like, you know what I love doing? Group activities. I did competitive dance, I played tennis. And I was my happiest at those points. And as an adult, it's very hard because you're so bundled down with so much what's going on with your life. It's hard to find those happy moments. So I made it a point to do that. And so I connected with all of these girls, especially Alex, Carole, Frankie, OGs from the beginning when we met our coach, Hyra. And we kind of grew from there. And then Starr, Taylor, Lina, a whole community grew from it, Ariel. And it kind of grew from that point. But we want to make it a progressive space where we're allowed to gather, meet, play a sport, learn anything, and have a sense of release.
Thank you. Give a round of applause for that. So speaking about group activities and support, we've seen female empowerment movements really take center stage in the past decade. A lot of things, you see brunches, you see retreats, organizations that come together, and that is great, but how do you actually put women's empowerment into practice? Not just the theory of empowering women, but actually practicing that. Shaina?
So, one thing that I do is, I think the golden rule, treat yourself, treat others the way you want to be treated, you do the way you want to be treated, is one thing that I think we tend to forget, especially during heightened moments. So just kind of one thing I've always remembered to do is recognize my own personal biases towards women. Sometimes you're in a heated moment, you think all these negative thoughts about the other person, and you have to check yourself. So that's one thing I practice, that's one way I apply women empowerment. And another way I do it as well is, I think we can all agree, we all know a strong woman, or we are strong women ourselves, correct? Well, strength is a spectrum. And so I think another thing is to check on your strong friends in all areas. I think, for example, me as a Black woman, I think all of you guys can relate. Our strength is, how would I say, undermined in a way in the health space, for example. People don't really recognize the way it may actually be. So always just check in and listen to what people are saying when it comes to their weaknesses and really tap in to help them out. So that's how I apply it as well.
Carole, you want to chime in on this question as well?
Well, I was gonna say, we all love a sponsored dinner or brunch. Do not get me wrong, we will take it. Please invite us, we will be there. But what's going on at these brunches and dinners? I think it's important for when we gather for women empowerment, for us to have productive conversations. And I get it, gatekeeping is warranted. But the best thing that I've gotten out of those women empowerment events is people sharing their resources, sharing their stories, and really connecting, and leaving those events with something tangible besides a cute pic. But I'm also down for the cute pic. We all need the content.
If you don't get a pic, you aren't there.
Exactly. That goes for tennis too, and the gym.
And food.
Question for Carole. What are some tools that have helped you speak up or feel confident in male-dominated spaces?
Okay, so I don't know if this is a tool, but the greatest thing that I've gotten is other women leading by example, showing me how it's done, showing me how to handle conflict, how to communicate effectively. I've worked on a lot of productions, and I've learned a lot from Lina, other producers like my friend Vanessa, and seeing how they treat people even when things are going wrong. They keep the vibe right, and they leave leaving a production and feeling valued. So yeah, that's the greatest tool I've had. Women leading by example is the best thing that you can do for me.
Anyone else want to chime in there? No? All right. Alrighty. Starr, what challenges have you faced pursuing your career?
Challenges. So fitness, I think there's expectations for certain body types in fitness, and I first started my career in Pilates, and Pilates is kind of I guess you would say a bougie sport, right? It's a non-inclusive sport. The prices are expensive, the music is, maybe not as hip hop. And when I first started teaching, I'm loud music, I'm twerking in between sets, I'm getting the crowd hype, and I brought this energy. And I remember Pilates teacher told me, she was well, you're not the body type, or you shouldn't play that music. And I kind of always stayed true to myself, and it's kind of worked for my career and made me who I am. And I made Pilates classes online. I made them affordable. I tried to bring them to the community so everyone can be involved, and it's been good. But I did face a lot of challenges getting to where I am now because of how I looked, my body type, the stuff that I like, my authentic self. So.
Lina, same question for you, especially working with styling, and you do work with a lot of male clientele as well.
Yeah, so I think some challenges that I have faced are, well, I think in the beginning it was more about not knowing where to start. And thankfully, like I went to college and I got, you know, a degree in design and stuff, but I didn't know if I wanted to be in design, so I got a mentor, and the mentor basically she led the way to like what I actually am doing now. But I think like once I went freelance, it's very easy to kind of not know where to go, not know how you're gonna get your next job, not know like when your next check is coming. And so I think like being able to like navigate through like your connections, your network, and like doing good work so that you always get called back, and just trusting word of mouth, and I guess just trusting the universe. I mean, for me, the universe is always conspiring in my favor. So people ask me all the time, like, well, how do you get work? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just work really hard, and like people just always call me back. So I think like one of the challenges with being like freelance is just needing that guidance. So yeah.
Thank you. I think that's a very important topic of mentorship. You know, a lot of women kind of don't have a support system. So hopefully that inspires some conversation amongst you ladies here today. Connect, communicate, and don't be afraid to ask people for help. It's very, very important. I'm sure everyone on this panel can attest to that. Don't be afraid to ask someone, hey, I'm inspired by what you do. How can I, link with you? How can we work together? And the next question is going to be for Frankie. What is a challenge you've encountered in your respective industry that you hope to change for the next generation of women?
I think being in PR and media relations, one of the biggest challenges that I face, to piggyback off of Starr, is just meeting client expectations. I have pitched the most grand ideas and what I thought was going to be the best thing to ever hit one of my clients' desk. And I just think that it's important that you're comfortable that you're comfortable pitching these big ideas, like go big or go home, but that doesn't always guarantee results. Sometimes I'm facing the media and I'm like, oh, this is great, you guys should cover this, but that can result in little to no coverage at all. So I think just that challenge of being confident and shooting big with these ideas, and just being comfortable that you may get a no every once in a while, but at the end of the day, you gotta be comfortable and you gotta just keep pushing these ideas, because it doesn't really deter your success in what you do. So I think no matter how many no's you get, or I get in PR, I know I'm good at it, and I just keep going, and I just keep building relationships with these media folks.
I wanted to add to what you were saying, Frankie. I feel like every no you get is just another like thread quilted into like the story of who you are. So although you may have gotten that no, Frankie, you wouldn't be the badass PR person you are without all of those no's, because you learned something from that experience. You always have a big takeaway from every no you get. Yeah, you'll get right back up.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the more your client expects out of you, the more you're gonna shoot to get this amazing coverage for them. But at the end of the day, I think the older I get and the more I do what I do, the more confidence I build. So, I mean, I could get no coverage in something that I think is great, but I'm gonna walk out my office like, I did that. And y'all did it.
It's important. Fake it till you make it. Listen, everybody out here don't know what they're doing. Everybody is lost.
That was the biggest lesson about adulting. Like, you graduate college, you enter the real world, you're like, wait, nobody knows what they're doing.
You'll figure it out along the way.
And it's okay. Like, yes. It's fine.
Let's start the same question for you, especially working in the fitness industry. And I know everybody sees these videos where like women will be in the gym and men will harass them. What are some of those very specific challenges in the fitness industry that you're hoping to kind of, navigate and change for the next generation of women?
I'm sorry, this is kind of off topic, but it brought this video into my head. Did you guys see that woman that got attacked in the gym and she beat him up?
Yes.
No, how lit was that? Yeah, so I'm trying to do that. I'm just no, I just let it like work to my advantage. You know, like obviously there's, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a male trainer. It could be even a woman that might know more than me, and you know, they might think they know what the client wants, but I do what I know I like. Like, I've always loved doing glutes and doing abs, and I think what I love to do, it translates in what I do, and then the client always loves it. So I just trust myself. There are guys, obviously, that think they know better than me, but women feel comfortable with women. So it's never like stopped me from getting a client, per se. And yeah, I mean, I deflect that. You know, obviously, like being sexualized can be a problem. You know, obviously, guys you might be at the gym trying to work out and they're like hitting on you, but you just deflect that energy too. Mine.
I think also, like for me, a lot of times I find myself like in a room where I'm working on a big production, and it's a corporate commercial, and there's, you know, a boardroom of people that want to see these outfits, and it's mostly men, and like, you know, it's an office scene, and they want the businesswoman to be like in a skirt, and you're like sexy, right? You're like, why? So I think like some of it is also like just stand up for like what you believe in, and I mean that might be nerve-wracking at that moment, but I've definitely told them like, I don't know if she needs to be in a skirt. Like she can wear pants, you know, and it's like. It's just, you know, just bringing awareness, just like for everyone. I think like sometimes men are not aware of like the things they say and how offending it can be. And so, yeah, just like stand up for yourself and stand up for women.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
On that note, Lina, you can continue. We're witnessing a generation of women who are hyper-independent and very self-sufficient. How do you balance work and self-care?
I have a very beautiful balance with self-care because since I work like per project, I'm blessed enough to be able to like work really hard for 3 weeks, and then maybe there's like 5 days that I don't have work. So I'll go get my nails done, I'll go do my hair, I'll go get a massage, I'll go to the beach, get some sun, and mostly also directly after, if I'm on like a big production and I've dealt with a lot of people and a lot of energies, and people are like, you know, some people just like you just don't mix with them. Spend the next day and sit in silence for a little bit. Like, it's a lot. Like for me, it's a lot. So I'm kind of like both introvert and extrovert. So like I need to like sometimes like energize myself in silence. Yeah, that's it.
Alex, how about you?
I think I have a pretty good balance when it comes to work and it comes to play, but trust me, I'm all about work, but I'm very much about play too. I play hard. You know,
she does.
As long as you acknowledge how hard you work, you should always continue to treat yourself. You know, we're young, the years go by so fast. If you want to go take that trip, I tell people go take that trip. If you want to go pamper yourself, get your nails done, get your feet done, I say do it. You know, we're all really young, we don't know when this life's gonna end. I'm not trying to be negative, but you know, I'm all about the work, but I'm also about making sure your mental is great. I'm also about making sure, you know, your energy is always great. And you know, if you're not treating yourself, you know, the work life is not gonna produce how you want it to be. You gotta be your full 100% happy self in order for you to produce work-wise. So, you know, like I said, take that trip if you want to take that trip. I'm the wrong person to come to when it comes to
I agree with
I'm
that.
gonna take that trip, yeah.
I agree with that 100%. Like I feel like sometimes like I'll book a trip and then I'll get a job and I have to pick between like making money and spending money, and I'm always like,
It comes back.
money.
It comes right back. It'll always come right back.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's fine. Like I already booked the trip, I'm going, like I'm not canceling it. And just
And self-care looks different for everybody. For some people, it's getting your nails done, getting your hair done, having a fresh fit. For me, it's living an active lifestyle. Like, and tennis has been like it's really changed my life because yeah, it's a great workout. We burn a bunch of calories, but it's also mental too. It's like therapy to me. So like, if I go weeks without playing tennis, like I'm not the best person that I can be. So for me, self-care is playing tennis.
But also, the tennis comes with your social life because you play with the girls, you play with your friends, so it all just ties hand in hand.
And being social is self-care too.
Absolutely.
Yes, balance. You gotta find that healthy balance. For me, I need Netflix and chill. I need a dark room, nobody talk to me. I need to be deep in a show. I need in a murder show. If they murder people out there, like.
She's not lying. She's not lying. I'd be like, let's go outside, Starr. She's
I
like, nah.
agree.
Nope.
I talk to people all day, so I get overstimulated. I'm a yes girl. This year I said I'm gonna say yes to everything. I've been saying yes to fucking everything. It's March. I'm like, I gotta start to say no. Yeah, so I mean, I have to shut down and recharge. But it's different to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. For
Balance.
me, it's taking a nap. One thing, I said that. One thing about me, I'm going to nap, and I will nap for hours. And my friends know, just don't call me. I'm not going to answer. My phone is on DND. That is my self-care. I will go to sleep. Don't bother me. So you're right. It's different for all of us.
Yeah. For me, I like to. I sound so self. I like to unload on people, whether it's or this girl right here. She gets the heaviest load. But I think having that decompress and just getting that second. For me, I just need that second perspective because sometimes you get in your head and you think you're going crazy. So just having that other person, whether it's a therapist, your mom, your sister, best friend. My Slice girls, they've heard it. Yeah. I think some people aren't the most receptive to unloading, and for me, I've taken a different approach, and like I've taken a different connotation towards it, and I'm well receptive to it because I know everyone's going through it. If I can help someone make their day better or get past a hurdle, I know y'all going to do the same for me too. That we're gonna do it together.
Wait, but I want to say, we're not telling y'all not to go to work, though. Everybody please go to work.
No, this is self-care. For some people, going to work is self-care. Some people need it.
Away from them kids, you gotta go to work.
Making money is self-care. I feel like Alex needs to work. She needs to keep busy, and that is her self-care. She is on full throttle, gas tank on full all the time, and she needs to get work done for her to that's her self-care.
If there's no work, I'm like, where's the work?
She looks for work. She's the only person that I know that looks for work. Like, I have nothing to do, let me just go add this to my plate.
All right, so a few of you said take that trip, and we are in tax season, right? So we know that this topic gets Twitter in a frenzy because people will be like, don't book that trip to Tulum, buy an LLC. But it's not that simple, it's not that easy. So, let's see, Shaina?
Yeah.
How do you start a business?
That first step, actually the way you start a business is figure out the why. If you don't have a why for what service or product you are providing, don't start the LLC because you need to have an end goal to it at the end of the day. After the why, then you figure out what, right? What exactly is gonna be your niche item that you're gonna push out and push to the public? And then identify all the highlights, and I call them USPs, user seller points, to this product. And once you have all that lined up, you get that LLC. You go on sunbiz.com.org, you find a dope ass name, and you put in that LLC. Because it is possible to get an LLC before having a business plan, but please have a business plan. It's a necessity, and if you're working with other people, and I would say that Slice Girls is the first time I've partnered with someone, so I didn't state it before, but Alex, Carole, Frankie, they're also founders of Slice Girls. So even doing research on the strengths of the people that you're working with is key. I think it's crucial to do a project with them prior to understand the dynamics and their working style and see what you may need to learn to meet them halfway to ensure that you guys do get through your tasks. And I think that's been a huge learning curve for us.
You do not have to partner with your best friend or your cousin. Make sure you know what their strengths are before embarking on that journey.
It's not easy working with your friends. Like we are learning each other and building a project that we're all passionate about. But like entrepreneurship, it's glamorized, but like it's hard, especially with your friends.
Yeah, like when they say, I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, so I became an entrepreneur and now I work 24/7. Right.
Yeah, don't fall for the facade of like you have to be a boss. Like you can be a boss that has a 9 to 5. Like that's dope too. Like.
Anyone else have some tips on starting a business?
I think like also, Shaina kind of mentioned it, but like get all of your digital real estate, all of it, like everything, like your .com, your .org, your your Twitter, your Instagram, your TikTok, everything, because you're gonna need it, and you don't want somebody to like peep your name and then buy up all your real estate basically, and then now you gotta buy it off them. So yeah.
Get a good accountant too, because I wanted to go to jail for taxes last year. I was ready. I'm ready for them to come for me. It's important. I bought a house like 2 years ago, and I didn't realize that, I was always under the impression like, oh, I want to buy sneakers, I want to buy a new bag, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. No, you need to save your money. You need to show income. A lot of us don't want to be showing them Venmos and them Zells. You need to show income. That way you can, get your business, get your house, get all your stuff. So yeah, definitely get a good tax man and at least show your income for the first year of your business. And then after that, just kidding.
And obviously do your research. There are a lot of perks with owning an LLC. You can buy a house under an LLC, you can get a car under your LLC, tax write-offs, baby. Find out the tax write-offs, and then obviously, like I said, do your research, that's all. If you don't know something, yeah, you could buy a house.
Buy it from me.
This is
Buy it from Alex.
You get a house, you're all getting houses under Slice Girls Tennis Club LLC.
So I have a question for all of you because I genuinely don't know. Like I have an S Corp and I don't know what the difference is between S Corp and LLC. And
does anyone in the audience know? I'll let you know.
S Corp is only for taxes, so it's only a tax subscription, but you still have an LLC.
Got
So
it.
it's just the way that your taxes are done.
Well, we're gonna regroup with you after this.
Yeah, so I can understand.
Just so that we all know
Yeah.
that we're doing.
Yes.
I have another piece of advice. Don't keep it a secret. I once started a business and can you guys hear me? And I was speaking to my mentor about it, and he was like, why doesn't the world know about this? Like, why are you keeping it to yourself? And he told me that the more people you talk about, even if it's just an idea, the more, connections you'll make with people. You never know who you're gonna meet that might do accounting or might do branding or might have some type of manufacturer in place that can help you. So you pretty much gave me this advice to just tell everybody, like just tell the world, like scream it out to everyone, because you never know who you're gonna meet, you never know who you're gonna run across that's gonna give you some type of help, and you never know where you're gonna need the help. So that is something that I would say, is just don't keep it a secret. We don't keep Slice Girls a secret at all.
I also have to add, take time to build your ducks, take time to build your business plans, take time to gather content from whatever you're doing with your business, because people want to see what you're doing. You need a portfolio, you need all of that, it's essential, and it especially will save a lot of time for you having to explain when people can just see what you're doing. Put stuff on your Instagram, put stuff on your Twitter. LinkedIn is so essential these days. Like, I be on LinkedIn all the time, like it's Instagram. But yes, you definitely got to build all of those things, very essential. It doesn't matter what business you have, a deck will go a long way, trust me. So I have to add to that.
And I think the key thing to not allow is imposter syndrome to get in your way.
Yes.
Frankie, when you're talking about keeping it a secret, I've done that before, because I think you're building something real, but then when you start talking to people about it, it's real. And like now you're held to a certain a new level of accountability. It goes beyond you at that point. And so, with that being said, like if don't let imposter syndrome get in the way. If you're already doing this, you already have the skill sets to do it. And if you feel like if there's gaps in the skills that you may have, the resources are endless. Hence why Frankie said, talk to people. Roxy said, ask for help. Those gaps will be easily filled. You may not even have to do it. So don't be in your own way.
Alrighty, Carole, one thing that comes up with women when we're in leadership positions is that we lead with emotion. Men will use this as reasons to not put women in leadership positions. How do you navigate keeping a level head in business environments or even organizations such as Slice Girls where you are all very strong, dominating women?
Yeah, I definitely feel like people weaponize being emotional, but I mean, we're humans. Like, we are emotional by nature. And like, emotions and passion go hand in hand. Who wants to work with someone that isn't passionate about what they're doing? Like, what's the point then? You guys ever worked with someone and it's like, you're super into what you're doing and they're kind of like not as excited about it like you are? Like, that's the worst. That's why I love Slice Girls, because we're all super passionate about it and we're not that good at tennis. But you see, like, the difference is that like, men have been conditioned to suppress their emotions, and women have been allowed to like express their emotions. But like, emotions serve a purpose. They're communicating something to you. Like, if you're not gonna be emotional about something that like you don't care about, yeah, that it doesn't matter. So like, your emotions are communicating to you what's important, like how you feel, what has to change. So I don't think that being emotional is a weakness. I think that it's actually a flex if you're able to like address your emotion and be like, wow, am I tripping right now? And then be able to like effectively communicate it so you can like grow and like do better. That's like, I'm not saying I do that, I say I'm on the way to that.
Yeah, I've definitely had to scale back. I've been very verbal in my career with like men and people that upset me.
But I think that's important.
I mean, yeah, but I also think that like there's a time and a place and a way. So I think the way that I used to go about it was just like, I need to like handle it right now, like in your face, like totally like obvious. But I think that like being able to like regroup and say like, okay, well, how do I really feel about this? And like, why is it making me feel that way? And then like understanding the way that you're gonna approach the situation is a lot better than just like blabbering out like something that might be offensive to someone.
I prefer somebody going off. Like, please tell me how you feel, because I'd rather you tell me how you feel and me process it and try to like work with it than you like suppress it and then you're being passive aggressive, and that's just like weird. Please go off on me, I could take it.
We do.
Yeah, they do.
I've been in a more corporate space, I think. And so for me, at first I was quiet. Then I learned how to collect receipts, honey. Ooh, I am a receipt collector. So with that being said, whenever I do get to heated moments, it's usually during moments of things that are unjust, right? Moments that give me the ick in the corporate space. So then I start opening up my receipt book. And for me, if I'm gonna hit you with hard-hitting facts where you will have no rebuttal. I think that gives me the same level of gratification as going off on somebody. And yes, I will use all of my corporate phrases per my last email.
She will put it in text.
I will do it in text.
She will text you.
Per my request.
Per my text earlier.
Because we are gonna be on the same page. And you're gonna have that page somewhere in your backlog. And so for me, I fight off of facts. And if I have my emotional moment, I will unload it on whoever's in proximity.
And like, I got a whole degree in communications, but it's like, it's one thing for me to have studied it for 4 years. It's a whole other world for me to apply it in like real life. Like, I'm just starting to do that now. Communication is really hard.
Frankie, with the experience you now have, what would you tell 15-year-old you with regards to pursuing your career?
15-year-old Frankie? She was bad. But I think being in PR for 10 years now, I graduated in my degree also in communications. I would tell the 15-year-old me that just to take her time. I feel like at a young age, we have like goals and we see ourselves, you know, in this like picture frame and we think we know what it is that we want. But I'm gonna be real, I didn't tap into the level of confidence in what I do until I hit 30. So with that being said, all these years that I've been doing PR and I've been bouncing from agency to agency, I lacked confidence. And now you can't tell me nothing. My boss can't tell me, she might be in here. I don't know. But she can't tell me anything that like, even if I mess something up, my level of confidence in knowing that I did my best and that I'm going to fix it by any means necessary, I'm fearless at this point, you know? And I would tell the younger me to just, you know, just slow down and take your time, build your confidence, mess up, because it's okay. I used to mess up and think the world was gonna be over. So yeah, I would also tell her that to just enjoy doing what you're doing at the moment. There's nothing like not living in the moment. Like you can be, who knows? I was bartending from the age of what, 18 to like 23, I bartended through college. And there were times that I was like, why am I still bartending? I'm in college, I need to be, you know, applying my degree in something. But I had the best times when I just lived in the moment and I was just working and doing what I was doing and I was just happy. So I would just definitely tell her, like, just live in the moment and you're gonna get there. That confidence, it takes time to tap into that level of confidence. So I said 30, but it's really 29.
Lina, same question for you.
Okay, I think starting off, when I was 15, I thought I was like too cool for everything. And there was like fashion clubs and there was like best dressed competitions and like things like that. And I was like, psh, I'm way too cool for any of those things. But like, I would say like, go back. I would go back and I would tell myself at 15, like, join those clubs, get in those competitions, like do that fashion show. Like, I guess it was also like, I wasn't sure, like I knew I liked fashion, but I wasn't sure that that's what I was gonna do. So like, I wasn't in any clubs. I didn't really participate. Like right, and but I'm in a club. So I think like just also knowing like early on, like all of those clubs and the things that you join while you're in college and everything that you do, like that's your network that you're building from the time that you're like able to make friends, you know. And so that's like one of the things. I think also like get a mentor. I mean, I said it already, but like get a mentor. Like, I don't know, reach out, be consistent.
One of my best mentors is the woman who gave me my internship, like in college. Yeah. So if you find someone that you just respect and someone who knows what they're doing, keep that connect, because that you're always gonna lean back. And she happened to hire me recently for a very good role, so just keep that connect. And to piggyback off of what Lina said, build your network. Like at 15, I wish I was like, what's your email? Because, right, like I wish I had a LinkedIn at 15, because the network that I have now, just building in like my 20s, it's incredible. And I, you know, even, like I said, I bartended through college. I still speak to certain people who used to come to my bar, because now they're like in the field that I'm in now. So that network is key.
Yeah, and I'm always even shocked at that, because Carole she's a drama kid. So Carole, when she was in drama club and stuff, and so she like still talks to her drama teacher, and like her drama teacher like helps her with stuff sometimes, and I'm just like, damn, I wish I had that.
She'll be like, my drama teacher has this.
Yeah, and so like, So that's like one of the things, or a couple of the things, but like obviously if I would have got a mentor like much earlier on, like I feel like I would have, you know, been a lot more confident, like you said, Frankie. And then another thing is very important because it's not being done within our generations, but like educate yourself early on in money because like nobody's teaching us how to manage our money. No one's teaching us about taxes. Nobody like pay attention in that business class. Like maybe they're only teaching you how to write a check, but like ask questions. Like aside from writing a check, what about a bank account? What about like, you know,
IRA?
Yeah, what about a Roth IRA?
IRA?
Like where do I invest my money when I get a job? Like when I get my first job, like where can I put my money? Invest early and often because I mean just now we're getting into investing like at 30. I'm sorry, that's too late.
There's 15-year-olds now doing that research. And it's like,
Yep. There's 15-year-olds now that are making bread.
Crypto money. They had that crypto money early.
Crypto money just online, on the interwebs.
These are not the same 15-year-olds. Like, I was not allowed to leave the house. Or be on the internet like that.
This question is for Shaina and Alex. What have been some of the biggest obstacles, or maybe the most surprising thing that you've encountered with creating the Slice Girls organization? Because it is a nonprofit, right? Oh, it's not. Oh.
We support nonprofit initiatives. So every clinic so far, we've worked with what's called the homeless shelter in Alapata. We're working with LLS, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, in April. This past month, we collected female hygiene products. We like to give back to the neighborhood that has welcomed us with open arms. And so we choose a charitable way to give back in that sense every single chance we get. We did a toy drive for the kids that play at the park. So many things.
as far as challenges go, I think we try to see how we can keep things fun on the court. So, like with every clinic, we try to like spice it up, do new drills, have people come back and, still have that fun and that excitement that they had the first clinic they came to. But, tennis, it's really, hitting a ball back and forth, playing, but like, it's more so like, how can we keep the girls really, really excited, and engage? We try to do more community events. We try to put more installations in our clinics, but I think we're trying to market to all types of different women, not just one. So that is a challenge, to make sure that every single woman coming to our clinic is happy and we're doing it for them. So I think that's our challenge, like the brainstorming challenge, like how can we spice things up this next time around, So.
And I think what triggered it more than anything is when we had our initial conversations, did we know we had a fire-ass idea? Yes. I think the biggest shock was the aftermath of the explosion and us not having, honestly, we weren't prepared.
Well, you weren't prepared for this many people.
We weren't prepared for this, but the response was very overwhelming, and I think it was a big win for us, and I love you all so much. We really, really appreciate you.
We wouldn't be here or be Slice Girls as a whole without most of the people here, yeah.
I think it's led to so much growth in all of us, and like you said, Alex, the way we challenge ourselves and finding new and innovative ways to cater to you all. Like, we truly listen to you, because we're doing this for you at this point. It's way beyond us, and we want to cater to you all. We want to feed your souls. We want you to leave every Slice Girl experience full. We feed you at the clinics. You are going to be full because we feed you. But
shout out Seagreen.
But
I definitely think you're building community, because I've watched the clinics grow and just seeing like how many more girls come out and they keep getting better and you keep them fun. And it's cool to build that community, and then see the girls at the clinic and then they come to my classes, or you see them out at night. Like, I think that's the whole thing in Miami. It's just cool to connect with women and there not be like,
and it's all levels.
Yeah.
And like you said, like the majority of us are in our 30s here.
Not yet. Not yet. I rebuke.
So to pick up a sport that, like, kind of like Shaina said, this was something that you did when you were younger.
so it kind of resurfaced for you. But a lot of people that are playing tennis, they've been playing tennis for a long time. But the club really does make everybody feel welcome. Everyone, you encourage everyone, you're very supportive on the courts, and also like everyone kind of understands like we're just having a good time. Like no one takes it like seriously. And I think that's a great job that you have all done with the tennis club.
And I wanted to just add to that, I think the reason why is because we've been very intentional with who we bring on. Our coaches, Jairo, he's not here, he's currently coaching, but we also have Josh here. Let's go Josh! Let's go Josh! I think the coaches that we have, in addition to just everyone being together, has really set a vibe that really is unmatched. There's so many tennis clubs here, and I know people have tried out different ones in the city, and I feel like with Slice Girls, you're at home. In a way, it's a very comfortable feeling, and like we mentioned before, our goal is just to ensure that that's the ethos. When you're at Slice Girls, you're at home with your girls. It's a wholesome night. We're not street rats tonight.
There's some moments. There be twerking moments, and I be doing the TikToks. There be moments.
And that's a challenge in itself. Like, we started this having so much fun, but with these fun organizations, there has to be organization and structure, and that's like one of the challenges that we face, because when we do our clinics, there's like 45 girls playing on the court. Don't get me wrong, I want to go play too, but we have to hold it down. Like, somebody's got to organize these clinics, so that we're slowly getting the hang of like having a great time with our girls, because our girls essentially want to play with we're like besties at this point. You come to one of our sessions and
You're a Slice Girl.
we're trying to have brunch, we're trying to have dinner, we're trying to go have drinks.
No, and they do. We
Yeah.
have girls that come to our clinics, and after I go on Instagram, I'm like, they just met at our clinics at brunch, like, oh.
Yeah.
They're linking up.
They're linking up without us. I'm like,
Without us, no invite. No invite.
how did it become? But besides that, I think another challenge is because we are all so busy and we are all in different industries, it is extremely hard for all of us to make time to meet. So behind all of this like cute, fun, Slice Girls movement and clinics, it's been challenging amongst us girls, just like, hey, when can we link up so we can get this thing organized? I mean, we all do different. Alex could be on the other side of Florida trying to sell a house.
Right, everyone's always traveling.
And
too.
like, Carol somewhere in Mexico.
I'm gonna make it to tennis.
What I think she's gonna do is make it to tennis. If she's out the country, she's gonna find tennis out the country.
I'm at like a client event and Shaina's in a meeting, so it's been challenging, just like, hey, let's meet up, and it's like, we're all just so busy. But that's the beauty of like what it is that we do and how we came together, because we all just bring in what we come with, and just put our heads together. It's been amazing, challenging but amazing.
And for the last question, and you kind of touched on it, how do you, or what do you think how can men be allies?
Oh, I know this one. We are currently accepting applications. This is an internship, not paid level for ball boys and water boys. We are looking for our Bobby Boucher.
Hey!
Bobby
Must
Boucher,
have abs.
you are out
Must
here.
have abs.
You can go.
I think also, like, on a serious note, I love that. I love that. Yeah, we need that.
Can you style them? Can you make them outfits? Oh, shorty short.
Yes, like pool boys. So I think also, like, okay, we like to say, and it is stereotypical, and the statistics are there, that men are in positions of, like corporate positions of power, and like you could give us that sponsorship. Like, that's where the ally comes in. Like, my friend that met with us, he works for Adidas. He's a senior designer at Adidas, and he's like, if I feed this to Adidas tenants, like, they'll eat it up, because it's like grassroots, and like, I'm like, you're an ally, sir. You're with us.
Honestly, just spreading the word. If you have daughters, have them come to our clinics. If you have cousins, nieces, just, having your people come out and support us.
Colleagues.
I think our colleagues, but I do think we have really great allies already. Like our coaches are men, and they're our biggest allies. They are what makes our classes and our clinics
Like our
special.
coach had a vision for our group that we didn't even know. Like from the first time that we started playing together, our coach was like, this is gonna be big. We're gonna take up all the courts. We're like, okay, tranquilo. We're gonna do the first couple courts. We're gonna,
And now you're in all the courts.
at this
I
point,
think you need another court, actually. The expansion.
I was just telling our coach, I was like, from day one, you had this vision for us, and we didn't even see it, and he was pushing us. I mean, he pushes us to be, he sees us as athletes, and none of us as, Starr is an athlete. But I've never thought of myself as.
Excuse me, I'm an athlete.
Okay. And Alex is pro now. Congratulations, Alex. That's a joke.
Yeah, when we was hitting it unknown, what was your speed? What was your serve speed?
We're not talking about that.
Okay.
I think also, just to put it out there, since we're talking, letting people know, we in the future want to have our own tennis court. So anybody that wants to invest, shout out, reach out to us.
So now I would like to open it to the audience. If anyone has any questions for any of our lovely panelists or questions about Slice Girls Tennis Club, don't be shy.
There go Miriam, our fellow Slice girl. Hey.
Thanks everybody. I love coming to Slice and it's so much fun, and it's really awesome to hear about how much work goes into it, because when you're playing you don't even think about everything that happened up until that point. So thanks for that. My question to you is how do you guys make sure the vibes are the way they are? Because meeting women in Miami, like you mentioned, Starr, it's not easy to meet cool girls. It's not easy to find people that actually want to link and keep the plans and actually build a relationship with you. And I found it to be really easy to connect with girls at Slice and play with them and only have fun. So I want to know how did you guys make sure that you as a squad were able to maintain that momentum and that serenity? And what are you doing, if anything, throughout the growth of Slice to make sure that continues that way? Because I've heard a lot of things from girls that I'm like, hey, you should come play tennis with me, it's really fun. They're like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to go meet a bunch of bitches and have a horrible time. That's what happens when I go to workout classes in Miami, Sometimes it's not fun, you leave mad, you leave almost a little insecure, so.
I think that's a narrative that is happening. Nobody wants to meet a bunch of bitches anymore because let's face it, girls could be catty, it could be a little sorority-ish where but I don't know, I think because we all know each other, our vibes are so authentic and organic that we get on the court, don't get me wrong, we're all friends, so there are times that we disagree with one another, but when we hit that court, baby,
Don't bring it.
Vibes don't lie. I feel if somebody was given that vibe, we would shut it down.
Yo.
This maybe isn't a fit for you today.
Exactly. And the moment one of
maybe
us
take a lap.
having one of those days, we're no, change that up.
I also think
That's not us.
To add to what you're asking, we all come from careers where we have to be social, and that we meet people, and I think that that's part of our career that we love. I love meeting people. I love making friends. I love meeting new women. I love learning about what new women are doing, their careers, all of that. So I feel at Slice Girls, especially at our sessions and our clinics, I feel I'm doing more talking than hitting balls, honestly. But I just think, an authentic space where you can be yourself, come out and, meet other women that are like you, similar to you, or aren't like you. I just think, we just like connecting. So there's not going to be any type of weirdness around us, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but.
Yeah, no, I agree with Alex, but just she said that we all come from, careers that were social. Some of us, I am in PR where I'm forced to be social. There are times I don't want to go to an event and mingle with media and log in coverage for my clients. So having this group, I can do it willingly. This is what I actually want to do. This is my form of self-care, like mingling with girls and like actually engaging in it, not feeling like a business or like it's like a forced effort. So yeah, that's my answer.
And I
was grabbing the mic.
Yeah, and I think we're just in a space. I can speak for the girls up here. We're women that like to see other people win.
Yeah.
And I think here at Slice Girls, like we are the protagonist, the protagonist in like that film where like someone's reached a new like level of growth, and I think witnessing that's what fuels me. When I see someone come in not knowing how to hit and they leave hitting the ball over the net, it's nice. It fills me up. So I think us rooting for each other has been the core. I'll say if there's one thing we don't allow, we set a very strong boundary, is negative thoughts in that sense and discouragement. If you're gonna do that,
don't bring it.
Don't bring it. As Carole said.
But when we started playing, like when we first started playing together, we didn't know that we were gonna like structure this and like start doing events out of it. Like we were just enjoying each other's company and like enjoying slamming on each other. And I'm telling you, we're not that good. We just had a lot of fun playing together, and we just wanted to share that feeling. That's it. So we didn't like deliberately set out to like, we're gonna make a brand about good vibes and fitness and women. It just kind of like came together organically, and we're just trying to like, we're trying to structure it so that we can like let everybody in. Because it's one thing about us is like, it's not an exclusive space. We want like accessibility.
I think another thing just to point out in knowing these ladies is that this group of women right here are intentional AF. Like when they set out to do something, they're actually going to do it. And I think that that's why the organization works so well. They're all very, strong-minded. They get an idea and they go with it. And so that's what made the organization come together. And I mean, it's been months now and they've been growing. And that's why, because they are intentional. It's not just, hey, I have this idea to go play tennis and like, they go all in. They're balls to the wall kind of girls. So that's kind of why it works as well.
Yeah, I think the outfits help too. We all decided like, oh, we gotta go, we gotta come in our tennis skirts, and are we buying tennis shoes now? Like, so we all kind of did it together. So that it brings that energy. But I think also, just a last little note, we went to an event that we experienced like some separation from another group, and we were very quickly aware that that's not what we wanted to give. So that helped too.
I think you had a question? Yeah.
Two questions. Do you need a ball boy?
That's one. Who's next? Anyone else?
Secondly,
we don't really pay yet, but okay.
I really appreciate you guys talking right now, because it's hard to find a group of people that are able to put their egos aside to just focus on one goal. But this is just a lighthearted question. I just want to know y'all zodiac signs.
Ain't nothing lighthearted about that.
I am the best sign, the only sign. Gemini, right here.
Can you tell how we've been fighting over the mic? Who's what?
I feel like you have like ideas.
You guess, and then we'll say it after.
Suggestions. I'm a Leo.
I am a lucky Libra.
Oh, Libra!
I'm the same sign as Beyonce. So shout out to all the Virgos in the building. I know we're here.
Where are my stallions at? I'm an Aquarius.
I'm a cusp baby, so I am, Beyonce's sign as well as a Libra. So you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you're
I'm a Virgo for work and a Libra for a lot of life shit.
I already told y'all, best sign, Gemini. What's up?
Roxy, what's your sign?
I'm an Aries. My birthday's on Saturday.
Oh, happy birthday! You had a question, or?
It was more, your branding is great, the name is great. Are you working on your trademark? Ooh.
Carole? We have had conversations regarding the trademark. It is top priority.
ASAP.
Yeah, it's not.
If anybody wants to to like sponsor the lawyer fees, that's also another way that men can be an ally.
And like I said, we can, revisit this after the.
We're gonna come into that lingo.
We have things to talk about.
Yeah, she is your girl. She's
No,
helped
but-
me a lot with my business, so this is true women empowerment.
No, this is why this is so great, because we're
Stand up, introduce yourself.
My name is Sam Reynolds. I'm the owner of a lifestyle brand, Cafe Namaste. So we do a lot of pop-up yoga and wellness events and a lot of community service. So some of my yoga students are in the house tonight.
Yoga in the house.
Yeah, so I like to help and get people legal too. So I'm not practicing, but I know a lot about that.
And you've got great arms. See them, yes.
Yeah, well, I came here because I love Starr, so I was like, I want to
Everybody loves Starr. One type of Starr, baby mama is.
Thanks, friends.
But
Love y'all.
I didn't know I was coming in here wanting to join a tennis club. Where do you guys practice?
Right here, 5 minutes away, more park.
Oh, okay.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. What's
Saturdays?
7 p.m. and then
Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Saturdays, we have an 8 a.m. session, and then Saturdays, we also have a 10 a.m. session. And I know that 8 a.m. sounds early, but trust me, we go. We get there.
You want to be there early? We get hot. It's hot.
That's the best session. Yeah, the best time.
Kaylin.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up, Kaylin?
Okay, so Miami is a very diverse city, and I wanted to know how's your experience dealing with the city of Miami being in that minority group?
Girl, can't blast your music. No. Remember we went to the beach?
Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
We couldn't play music.
I will give. It's a love-hate relationship with the city of Miami. We really do.
I mean,
work
shout out
on-
to the city of
Shout-
Miami.
Yes.
It's hard to
We
play.
love the mayor, Mayor Suarez. Help us out with our permits.
But it's definitely been a collaboration. Frankie works the park. You do your magic at the park, but helping us sort us out with certain.
Well, we also have the most amazing coach, and he rides for us.
Rides
So,
hard.
Because of his relationship with the city, no matter what challenges we face, he's like, I got y'all.
Yeah.
And he'll go back, I don't know what back room he's in, making magic, but he does it, and he comes through for us, and he gets us our permits because it is a challenge. We all know what it's like.
It is.
I went to my daughter's school
Miami
to
is
play. I went to my daughter's school to play one time, and somebody there, I guess, called because you can't do lessons at certain courts. And I'm like, so how am I supposed to learn to play at this court if I can't take a lesson? And it's like, yeah, I didn't realize there was so much politics, but Slice Girls makes it easy for you. Just pull up.
Yeah, but we have a wonderful relationship with the park that we do our clinics at, and yeah, we're family at this point, girl, and we feed them. Carole's like, Coach, you want lunch? Uber Eats is on the way. So, we take care of our people. That's, like I said, build your network. That's a part of it.
And I would say, Carole, when the city decided to increase the rates at the park, this girl right here, she said, let's get the troops. Because no, it's ridiculous. It's a public park. Why are you creating such obstacles for people to be able to use it?
Pickleball is why. We don't play pickleball, we play real sport.
Carole said that. Chill. I like pickleball too.
So yeah, we choose to deal with that.
But it has been challenging. It's not like just rolling up to a basketball court and playing basketball. I feel like tennis is a little bit harder.
It is challenging, but at the same time, the city also sees what we're doing. They also see how Slice Girls is really making an impact in the community, how we're bringing out people and making more park look so fun. And, they're starting to work with us a little more than they did in the past, but they see the impact and they see how great we look out there, all of us, all of you guys out there, and they're like, okay, they're doing something.
They've
doing
never
something
had
right.
this much traffic.
Yeah. And we get them free press. So yeah.
Were there any other questions? Yes.
Hey ladies, so first and foremost, I just want to go ahead and give you your kudos for walking in the truth. That's number one. Number two, why tennis?
Oh, okay, yeah. Shaina started this.
That's true.
She was like, you guys were taking a tennis lesson tomorrow.
We were at a bar. I'm like, Frankie,
drinking, and she's like,
we're doing a tennis
this
group.
class with me tomorrow, and I'm like, yeah. I've never done a sport in my life. I got bad ankles. But Shaina was like, let's do it. I was like, yeah, girl, after this margarita, cool.
So tennis was the sport due to the type of challenge that it provides you. You have to be strategic, you have to have endurance, and you have to be tactful. So that's what, and at the same time, while you have to apply all of these like very serious skill sets, you somehow are having a blast. Like I low-key feel like a dog that's playing catch. Yeah.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I play tennis because it's a sport that you can literally play for your whole entire life.
That part.
And it engages every muscle in your body with
Yes.
a little impact.
Yes.
You might get a ball hit you, but
All the time.
very unlikely. But yeah, I just wanted to add to that.
No, that's a beautiful addition.
Well, can I also add this? The outfits.
Most important part. What? But also, like, why not tennis? Why not tennis? It's like, you know, like we can go and whatever, do everything else. Why aren't we playing tennis? So it's like maybe something we never tried.
Yeah, and also every single one of our practices, we get better. So when we see each other getting better, like we just gas each other up and we're like, wow, teach me. Like we teach each other at this point. Sometimes we give our coach a little break, like, coach, go over there, because I'm gonna teach her how to serve. She's doing this wrong.
Her serve is solid.
There's something about the hit too. I think when you hit the ball, it makes that noise. It's like a serotonin level goes up in the head. You hit that ball right one time and you'll be like, oh, that's it. I have arrived.
But I think we're all in a position that we just want to keep learning, so we keep perfecting. Like this forehand was our first lesson, and we're still learning. We're still doing drills, so the learning part of it just doesn't end. Like you just keep learning something new every day, every time we play.
And it's also fun watching girls come, like so many friends of mine have been like, I'm not athletic, I'm not good at tennis. And they come and they miss their first couple of balls and they're like, I told you, they're so embarrassed. They're like, I told you I suck at this. But after they leave our clinic, they're like, wow, I can actually do this. Like, and they leave hitting the balls like over the net. So that's been awesome. Yeah, you gotta get it over the net. And usually you play with us for a little bit and you like get a hang of it. And it's so beautiful to see girls like their progression. It's amazing.
That be making me run for my money, like on the court. Marriott, girl, like there's girls here that have been coming consistently, and they literally have me sweating and running. It's crazy. But I'm still sticking to the outfits.
Any lefties?
Yeah, she's actually a lefty, and low-key, she makes things a little complicated.
She does.
Opposite everything. Right?
Yeah, it's opposite everything.
So all of you guys have different careers, and I wanted to know, was there ever a moment where you kind of deviated from the end goal, and how did you like backtrack to that career goal that you had in mind?
I think the only time I deviated from, you know what, no, I had a full-blown redirect. It started in college, and after that, I really stuck to it. I did international relations, because I was a social bitch, and I was like, you know what, I can fix the world. I have a glowing personality. No, it wasn't the case, and so when I found PR first, and I shifted over to marketing, but after that, I think what keeps you going at it is, you have to keep on changing and refreshing your perspective on things, and keep on identifying that item. For me, it's the storytelling aspect of it. What is the story that I'm building, and what's the end result that I play a role in? So that's what's helped me return. That's the why that keeps me bringing me back. And I'm in the marketing space, so.
With fitness, I just keep trying to learn more. I try to find funner, like different ways to keep it fun. Got involved in tennis. I'm doing a yoga teacher training, getting them arms right. But yeah, just inventing like fun ways to do it and trying to stay motivated, thinking about my goals, and here and there, you know, I get into social media a little bit, but I think my root is always more fitness oriented, so.
It's like a relationship, you know?
Keep it fun.
Keep it
Sometimes
fun.
you gotta do weird shit. You gotta play with the toes. You know? Sometimes you gotta get with the toes and bite somebody over. I don't know.
But you also gotta keep learning it too. You always gotta keep doing research and learning it.
Getting better.
Especially with my career, like things are always changing in the real estate game. I always gotta, sometimes I'm like, damn, the market done changed again. I gotta update my damn plans. But you know, it's a little tricky and hard in that aspect because you always have to keep learning. But as long as you keep doing your research and you keep, being attentive to what's going on, I feel like you won't really stir away. That's how I look at it.
And I think also like tapping into different angles in whatever career you're in. I've wanted to quit PR so many times. Where I'm just like so drained of like keeping up with these relationships and keeping, I call it babysitting because my clients are so needy. But I think, I've dabbled in like hospitality and then I switched over to lifestyle and I freelanced for a bit and then now I'm like doing real estate. So I think it's okay to like switch up whatever niche you are in your field. And I've wanted to quit so many times, but.
And I think it's okay to completely deviate too.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
ever evolving creatures,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you've got different seasons. You might want to do this. Alex did not start in real estate.
Oh yeah, so I was doing event production for 8-9 years, and the pandemic happened, and I was like, damn, we can't go outside no more. Like, there's no productions to put on. So in 2020, I decided to go to real estate school. I got my real estate license, and it was a very great time. And now I'm doing both full time, but that was completely different from what I'm used to. I didn't know anything about real estate going in, and I went to school and I, learned, and here I am. But that's definitely a good example.
I think, Samara, can I give you a quick shout out? I was on her IG story. A deviation could literally be just choosing you. So this one right here, she took on a full-blown sabbatical and dedicated, it's almost been a year now, right? Of just choosing herself and living life to her own terms. And I think it's the most incredible thing. I think that's the one thing people fear the most. Mm-hmm. Doing absolutely nothing but choosing you. You feel, sometimes you feel shameful for doing it.
Yeah.
But like, I think, quite frankly, you're one of the most amazing people I've ever met. Very impressive, and so you've given me a new perspective on life.
She's a fellow Slice girl too.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for everything that you've all said. Touching on the financial aspect, like conversation, how do you deal with people that don't want to pay you your price that you're charging?
Well, I'm gonna say this right now. Tennis is expensive, and that's what makes it exclusive. And like, it's important for us to make it accessible. So we are constantly battling with like making it happen, but also making it affordable, because like we're not gonna charge something that we wouldn't pay. So
we too pay those prices.
Yeah. We were customers at one point, and it's hard and it's not cheap. But like, you need the coach and you need the space. You need the coach because like every time you play with coach, you get better and better. So you get it. You're like, okay, now I understand like why this is so expensive.
We also need the city of Miami to just be on the court. That's another thing.
Your rate is your rate,
Right.
and that's your worth, and that's what it is to you. And people need to be told no sometimes. So if they don't want to pay your rate, maybe they're not for you. But I will say, being a single mom at one point before I was married, sometimes I had to take every job I could take. And sometimes it's worth it, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're working for nothing. You're running circles for $20, and you get a ticket on the way there because you're late, so it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? So I think your rate is your rate. I would stick to it, and you can negotiate sometimes, but I have a very hard time with negotiating money and talking money with people. I don't know why. Does anybody else have that issue? Like, when it comes to money, they'll be like, oh yeah, I want to book you to train, da 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 da, and I'll like never be like, oh, by the way, my rate is, I like leave and then I text them later. It's like real awkward for me. I don't know why.
Same way.
So I'm like that.
It's not a comfortable position to be in.
But it does. I guess it doesn't need to be, and I'm actually kind of trying to work on that myself. But I have found that sometimes people need to be told no, they want it more. Sorry, no, I can't do it.
But also, I feel like there's always a business for somebody. Like, you're always gonna find people, whether it takes It might take a long time, it might take a short time, but there's always gonna be people for your business. Like, people are always gonna find business, and people are gonna pay your rate. I know that for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I think also knowing when to even increase your rate is very key.
Yeah, inflation.
Yeah.
Rates gotta go up. The price today is not the price tomorrow.
Yeah, price went up. I mean, you work on bigger projects, your name is bigger, like, you just gotta, I mean, you have to adjust. And people you either get with it or get lost. I mean, I think like it is like an uncomfortable question, and I used to be really insecure about it, even to the point where I was like, I just want a manager or something so that I don't have to talk about these, I don't have to have these conversations. But listen, if you gotta make a separate email and pretend like you're a manager and fight for yourself, but like incognito, like do it. But yeah.
Miss Hawkins will not be doing this at this rate. This is her assistant Sherry, but
Starr did that to me this week, y'all.
Yeah.
She sent her manager.
I sent my manager to deal with it. I couldn't. I'm very uncomfortable.
I called her like, Starr, who is this guy emailing me?
It's too much. I can't do it. I get really uncomfortable. It's a Gemini in me.
Yeah, but my rule with them is like I always go high. I'm like, my rate is crazy rate, and then they're like, whoa, and then you're like, okay. You're like, okay, well, what do you got? Like, it's that, in my industry, it's that battle, like, what's your rate? Well, what's your budget? Well, what's your rate? Well, what's your budget? And it's like,
Mine, they be asking me for a discount. I pull up to their house. They got 3 houses. I'm like, which house are we going into? You need a discount? You got 3 houses.
You gotta stick to your rate.
Yeah, stick to the rate.
What is the rate?
Which email? Who are you asking?
oh, we're all in different industries.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
We all just
Separate thing came in a little late. He came in a little late. I saw him, but
No, we all have our own different businesses, but we come together as a collective with a tennis group. We have a women's tennis group.
He's a little late.
I just got here 10 minutes.
We gotta give you the spark notes.
It's only our third day out here.
Awesome, well that concludes the panel. Please give these ladies a round of applause. Thank you all for being here in attendance. Thank you for your questions and your support. Don't forget, just another shout out to our sponsors. We've got Cultivar Hospitality, their amazing food, Mamitas Tequila Seltzer,
create a cocktail.
Create a cocktail, yeah, sorry. And also, sorry, don't forget that if you buy one of the items from the women's capsule, it's in the bag, you get 15% off a session with the Slice Girls. And then there's also Starr's.
Mimi Yoga's giving you $10 off a class, but if you want to come, talk to me.
And Barebells protein bars in the back as well.
Also, don't forget our tennis sessions, y'all. So if you guys want to sign up for next week's session, you can talk to one of us. We can get you signed up. You know, come play with us.
I have a racket you can borrow. I got an extra
We
one.
all have extra rackets. You know, it's a good time.